Pound cake originated in the 1700s in Britain. The name pound cake comes from the original 4 ingredients, 1 pound of each, of flour, sugar, eggs, and butter. The original bakers in the 1700s did not have buttermilk or sour cream or leaveners, so those cakes would have been very dense and very sturdy. We will be using these 4 ingredients. We'll be using equal ratios of them, but we will not be using a pound of each because I do need this to fit in my pan. This cake will be tender and moist. It is never dry, it's not gummy, it's delightful in texture, and it'll be topped with an incredibly lemony glaze. The recipe is in the description below. What do you say we make one together? Let's get started. We'll prep all of our ingredients ahead of time. Starting with the flour, you need 350 grams of all-purpose flour, that's 2 3/4 cup. 350 grams of granulated sugar, that's 1 3/4 cup. You'll need 350 grams of eggs. This is 7 large eggs. If you have smaller, you may need 8. If you have larger, you may only need 6. I would encourage you to weigh these. And then we have 339 grams of butter. This is 3 sticks or 1½ cups. You need to zest 2 lemons and then juice them. We'll need juice for our cake and also for our glaze at the end. I have both lemons juiced, and this is enough for the cake and the glaze. Make sure that you run it through a sieve. For the sake of having our ingredients all prepped, I will tell you we need 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and that's 45 milliliters. So I just have that sitting back behind me. It's still straining for now. You'll need to have these prepped and ready to go and at room temperature. A ½ cup of full-fat sour cream, that's 120 grams. A 1/4 cup of buttermilk, full fat, that is 60 milliliters. You'll need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, that is 10 milliliters. And then you need a ½ teaspoon of fine sea salt, 3 grams. A ½ teaspoon of baking soda, 3 grams. And a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, and that is 2 grams. That is all of our ingredients. The last thing we need to do to prep is to prepare our pan. High sugar content cakes can tend to stick in the bottom, so you want to make sure that you grease it generously. I'm using a brush to make sure that I'm getting in all of those little indentations. And once you have that done, just flour it lightly. I don't put a ton of flour in because I don't like the texture on my final cake, but you definitely need to add some flour in so that it doesn't stick. I chose a Bundt pan because pound cake batter is very dense. If you're using a standard bread pan, the outer edges tend to get really set and start to dry out while the center is still undone because it's such a dense batter. This maximizes moisture in the cake because it's cooking from the outside in and from the inside out. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get busy. Turn your oven on to 325, or that's 165 Celsius. First thing we're going to do is abrade our lemon zest into our sugar. This is where all the flavor lives, and so we want to take a moment and just extract the essential oils and the flavors out of this zest and into the sugar before we get started. I like to at least give it a head start with my fingers, and then I will spin it in the mixer as well. The sugar has lots of little edges, and so as you rub it, you're actually extracting the oils from the zest. We'll rub this until we have a wet, damp sand consistency. Now put this in the bowl of your stand mixer, fitted with the paddle attachment, and we're going to put it on speed 2, and we're going to mix it for about 2 minutes. Once you have this done, you should smell some very intense, fragrant, beautiful lemon coming from your bowl. Now it's time to add our butter, and if I can say one thing, I would slow down just for this moment to tell you the butter in this mixture is the most important thing. You want your butter not too warm and not too cold. We want it to be around 65 degrees or so, somewhere in that range. If you have a thermometer, I just actually checked mine because I wanted to make sure. Here's the reason behind it. If it is too soft, it will just melt and become soupy with the sugar. When we combine these, if it's just right, the sugar will cut into the butter and create a million little pockets in our batter. And those pockets are what is going to give us our lift in the oven and our rise. So this is the crucial step. If it's too cold, the butter can't cut into it. So make sure your butter is at the right temperature. And we're going to mix this for 5 solid minutes on medium high, or that's number 6. We want that whipping and paddle to just beat the sugar into the butter. So it's kind of, I mean, medium high is pretty high speed. So halfway through, stop and just scrape down your bowl. And you will see a big difference between the beginning, where this is really dark. By the end, it'll be very light and fluffy, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, the butter is done. I want to show you what it looks like because it's super cool. It's nice and light and fluffy, and it's filled with a billion little pockets of air. Now it's time to add our eggs. Put your mixer on 2. Add them one at a time and mix for about anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute after each addition. Mix your dry ingredients together, add your salt into your flour, and we'll give this a whisk. I could have chosen a bigger bowl, I think. Add your baking soda in. This baking soda will help balance the pH of the batter. It's very acidic right now. It's going to be acidic because we're adding lemon in and buttermilk and sour cream. So this will help the cake to brown, and it'll also tenderize it. And then we're adding baking powder, and that will give us a little bit of rise in the oven. I measured out 3 tablespoons of our lemon juice. I'm putting the rest aside for our glaze at the end. So now add our liquid ingredients. We have our buttermilk here. We're adding our sour cream in. The buttermilk and the sour cream will add some tang and some moisture and flavor. And they also, with the acid, will help tenderize the gluten to give us a nice velvety crumb. The acid in the lemon juice will do the same thing. It tenderizes the gluten. Add that right into your mixture. And then add your vanilla in for flavor. Give that a good whisk. Now we'll do this as quickly as possible. We don't want to over mix this. So put your mixer on your lowest speed. On mine it's 1. Add 1/3 of the dry ingredients. Then add half of the liquid. I'm just barely letting it get stirred around and adding the next. Add the rest of your liquid in. The last of your dry. And then I quickly just shut it off and I will finish it by hand. Just use gentle folding motions around, up, over, and just keep scooping down to the bottom so that you're making sure you're getting all unmixed ingredients from the bottom and the sides. We're being gentle. We added a lot of air in, and we want to not deflate all our nice little pockets. Once you have your batter all smooth and combined, it's time to put it into our pan. This batter is thick, so I usually just spoon it in. Take an offset spatula and just even it out before you put the rest on. And just add the rest of your batter on top. And then I will just Spread it out one last time. Give this a tap on the counter to remove any large air bubbles before you put it in the oven. And then we will be baking this for 60 to even 75 minutes. Every oven heats differently. So I will be doing a check at 60 minutes just to see how it's doing. We're looking for a temperature internally, if you're using a thermometer, of 205 degrees, or that's 96 Celsius. So our cake needs to cool 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll invert it onto the cooling rack. We'll make our glaze in the meantime. I'm making mine right in a measuring cup so that I can pour it out when it's time. This is 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. That's 180 grams. And we're putting 3 tablespoons of our lemon juice in. That's 45 ml. Just pour it right in there and give it a whisk. Okay, the cake has cooled for 5 to 7 minutes. You don't want it really, really hot, but you do want it warm. So I'm putting this in a baking sheet so that the drips just go into this instead of on the counter. So I pour my drizzle on. It'll run down the sides. I want to make sure that it's evenly distributed. It'll go in the inside and the outside. And by the way, isn't this pretty? It turned out so nice. Then with what is left, I usually brush it on the sides because it doesn't naturally get on all of the surface. And I want to make sure that there's glaze on all of it. So here we go. Now the cake just needs to cool. It may need 30 to 40 minutes, even an hour, and then we'll cut it and see how it looks inside. The cake has cooled. I'm going to transfer it onto my serving tray. I have this super cool little, it's like a giant spatula. If you have some kind of a cake mover or something like this, I highly recommend you use that because you don't want to crack your nice glaze. Just lifts it right up. And then you can just transfer it onto whatever tray you're using. Just like that. I'm so excited with the way this turned out. Look at the shine of this glaze. It's got a nice little sheen on it. So what do you say we take a slice of this out and have a look? Look how moist this is. It has a soft, tight, velvety crumb. It is so moist. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so nice. Yay. So I made some whipped cream. I'm just putting a little on my plate. Maybe a lot. And a few berries. Isn't that so pretty? And now I'm taking a bite. This is anything but dry. It is moist. It's flavorful. The glaze on here is making the whole cake just sing. This is a fabulous dessert for any occasion. And if you love lemon, check out my lemon playlist. I have lots of fun things there. I look forward to baking with you in the next video.